Hey guys, Tommy with Studio Sense here. I hope you're having an awesome day. Happy that you're here because it can be sometimes daunting to navigate the often rocky cliffs of discount fragrances for men or cheap fragrances for men. Whether you're doing it online, looking through the tremendous amount of discount fragrance websites, or you're going to a rack store, otherwise known as department store, and going to the clearance section and going through all the tremendous number of designer houses out there that are selling cheap junk, it's kind of hard to find something that you're not paying a ton of money for that's still really good quality. However, if you have somebody whose opinion you can trust, who has not broken that trust in the past by making a recommendation that turned out to be really bad, I hope that's me for you guys. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 fragrances that are really inexpensive that I feel like are perfect for the summer. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. So today's video is all about fragrances that are perfect for summer, and they're not gonna break your wallet, your bank account. You're not gonna pay a ton of money for these fragrances. I do wanna clarify what I mean by affordable and inexpensive. It's really hard to know when somebody says cheap and you go look at the fragrance and it's 50 bucks. You're like, that's not cheap to me, even though maybe some people consider it cheap. So to clarify, I'll give you a baseline of what I think inexpensive is. Inexpensive fragrances are fragrances that you can get for under 40 bucks. To me, that's inexpensive, that's affordable, and that's cheap. It's taken me a while to curate these because of all of the ones that I'm going to recommend to you I've used, I own, and I've compared them with other fragrances. They've come down in price, they've gone up in price. Right now, they are at a really good price. Several of these fragrances will likely increase in price as time goes on. So now is the time to get them, to try them out if you don't already have them. All of the fragrances I'm going to refer to are listed below. I've got links that you can click on if you're interested in buying them. I'm really happy to share with you today 10 of what I consider the best cheapy gems for summertime. The very first fragrance that I want to share with you is a very unusual smelling and a very unusual kind of summer fragrance. I've often said it makes me think of a t-shirt and jeans kind of fragrance, and that is Lalique White. Now, anytime you mention the name Lalique, you know you're talking about quality. This is one of the most niche-like quality fragrance houses that's still a designer house. I think what really sets Lalique White apart is that it is not your typical citrus sport fragrance, right? It's not really even a sport fragrance. It's a lightly spicy, very clean, unique smelling fragrance. It opens with a combination of bergamot, lemon, a little bit of tamarind, so you get a little bit of citrus in the open, but immediately it goes into a more kind of floral spicy territory. You've got cardamom, nutmeg, violet, and white pepper. That's the heart, with a basic trio of amber, musk, and cedar in the base. Just the way that it's formulated puts you in mind of something that's just on the edge of refined. So while this is a wholly casual fragrance, there'd be nothing wrong with wearing it formally, right? Suit and tie or whatever, because it is so clean. It's one of those fresh out of the shower clean fragrances that will stay with you almost all day. You'd think you pay a lot more than what you're going to pay for this, but you can get a 100 ml bottle in this very cool presentation for about 33 bucks from Lalique White. When it comes to men's fragrance, John Varvatos is no slouch. Now, there are several fragrances of his that I personally wouldn't own or wouldn't wear. This is not one of them. In the Artisan line of fragrances, it is Artisan Blue. I put my nose on this the other day for the first time in a while, and I was like, man, I've really forgotten just how soapy, clean, fresh, and lightly spicy vegetal herbal this is, because it is from the Artisan line, of course, Artisan Pure, but you're likely going to pay more for Artisan Pure than you will this, yet it's equally as good, and it's tipping into the blue territory. You've got clary sage and basil to spice it up. You've got ton of floral notes like iris, lavender. You've got an interesting base of pistachio tree resin, some cedar wood there. So it's got a really nice woody backbone in the dry down, but it has that very authentically artisan-like fragrance DNA that makes it extremely unique and yet very soapy clean. You can get a 100 ml bottle of Artisan Blue for about 35 bucks. Extremely well worth it. Our next fragrance remains one of my favorite cheapies by Versace, because Versace doesn't create a ton of cheapies at all, but it's an older fragrance too. Happens to also be extremely unique. I don't think there's a fragrance out there that's tried to copy this one. It is Versace Blue Jeans. Versace Blue Jeans has been called kind of like a cola type fragrance. I agree with that. It's got kind of a light lemon, citrus, vanillic cola kind of. So I'm like going like that because I'm going back and forth between these very different notes, but it's a really nice blend of all of those. This was created back in the day when they would put everything but the kitchen sink in a fragrance and, you know, cross their fingers that it would work out. Well, it actually really worked out for this one. It is an extremely smooth, albeit ton of notes in it. It's a great summertime fragrance, and because it does have that light vanilla cola kind of background, it makes it extremely unique. There's not a ton of fragrances that have that same kind of tone or quality about it. It only comes in this size, which is a 75 ml size, but it goes a long way. The performance is really good, and it's 20 bucks. 20 bucks for Versace Blue Jeans. One of the best deals you'll run into and one of the best cheapy gems for summer. Our next fragrance is from the German house Yeti, and it's one of those stealth releases that not a ton of people took notice of, and as a result, nobody really talks about this fragrance, or I think wears it. It is from the Wow line of fragrances. It is Yeti Wow Fresh for men. Wow Fresh is really just that. It's just a fresher, lighter, more citrusy version of the Wow DNA. And if you've never tried Wow, it's just a very patchouli, vetiver, earthy, clean, gentleman's kind of fragrance. I consider it kind of like a gentlemanly fragrance. Not necessarily barbershop. It doesn't have a lot of spice in it. It's an extremely smooth, earthy, kind of, again, vetiver patchouli combo kind of fragrance, and this just adds a little bit more citrus and it lightens up the DNA without sacrificing the quality. It only comes in this size, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, please let me know, but I've not found it in a size other than this. I don't know if that was just an experiment. They were going to release it, you know, larger sizes later, but you can get it for 26 bucks all day long. Yeti Wow Fresh. Of course, summertime wouldn't be complete without your aquatic fragrances. This next fragrance comes from a house, Alfred Dunhill, that has a ton of very affordable fragrances. In fact, it can kind of be confusing or daunting when you look at the list of all the fragrances to pick out which one might be good. Well, I've already done that for you. I feel like I own the entire catalog, but this particular fragrance is a great aquatic find. It is Dunhill Desire Blue Ocean. It's kind of easy to pick out from the rest because the cap is white and the atomizer tube looks like the wick of a candle. This fragrance is super citrusy, fresh, aquatic, and if you're at all familiar with Halloween Man Hero, it's very much like that. It's got that whole olfactive shine to it that Halloween Man Hero has, but you're not going to pay the same price for this as you would Hero. You can get a 100 ml bottle for $24. You talk about a deal. This is one of the few fragrances that I would highly recommend all men actually owning, and a super safe blind buy. It opens with a citrus kind of light fizz because of the tonic water. It's got lime, apple, aquatic notes, and a base that allows the fragrance to perform well into its 7th or 8th hour. Extremely great performance for a very inexpensive fragrance. Again, one must own that I can recommend by Dunhill, Desire Blue Ocean. Another super easy fragrance to recommend, not just because it's inexpensive, but because of the overall scent profile, is by Tommy Bahama. It is Maritime Journey. Now, the entire Maritime line, I own them all, are all excellent. This one is probably the most inexpensive because it's been out the longest. Maritime Triumph is still kind of expensive because it's still relatively new. Maritime Deep Blue is probably the most popular. I also recommend owning that, by the way. And it also has a really nice, similar to Dunhill Desire Blue Ocean, it's got a really nice apple note in the open that's distinguishable. It also makes great use of floral notes like iris, orchid, and you've got cedar and tree moss activating the other notes, just to give you a really clarifying kind of lightly aquatic summer fragrance. Now, this one I recommend for high heat situations where normally you would shy away from fragrance. This works perfect in high heat. Maritime Journey by Tommy Bahama. And of course, I'm holding it backwards because you're looking at the word tester. There we go. Maritime Journey, Tommy Bahama. Now, if you know anything about the car manufacturer Bentley, you know that they make some really great fragrances. But again, like all of these houses, it's really hard to pick and choose what's going to be good. This particular fragrance is among the least expensive of the Bentley fragrances, and yet one of the best. How does that happen? Well, it's probably not going to stay that way, so I recommend getting it while you can at this rate. It is Bentley for Men Black Edition. Just like the other fragrances I've been talking about, this one also makes some really good use out of floral notes, and primarily you get the sense of violet in this. So if you like violet oriented fragrances, you'll really enjoy this one. It opens with pink pepper, tangerine, a little bit of nutmeg, but overall you get a violet sense. You got papyrus, jasmine, patchouli, there's even frankincense, but not enough to make this a dark fragrance that you don't want to wear in warm weather. Perfect for summertime. It's one of the best summertime oriented fragrances that carries that light violet, woodsy kind of tonal quality. In the dry down, you get the sense accents of that violet, but also some dry woods and Atlas cedar promoting the other notes. And it's got great performance for the price. You think you pay a lot more for a 100ml bottle than $33, but that's all it is, 33 bucks. Bentley for Men Black Edition. Speaking of car manufacturers, Ferrari has been known to create a decent fragrance or two for men. They've actually got a pretty decent catalog of fragrances, and one of the best and most inexpensive is Radiant Bergamot. Radiant Bergamot is among like Pure Lavender, there's Noble Fig. There's quite a few of them that I would recommend owning. This is probably among the top simply because bergamot is that citrus fruit that is such a perfect summertime oriented fruit. It's got a kind of a combination of lemon, lime with a light vegetal herbal overtone in the background, and that's what makes it uniquely fresh for summer. Radiant Bergamot is a really good performing casual wear fragrance, and you can get a bottle for 30 bucks. The price has kind of gone up and down over time. I anticipate that it will only increase over time, so get it while it's still 30 bucks is my recommendation if you don't already have it. Ferrari Radiant Bergamot. I sometimes use the phrase on my channel that I take the hit so you don't have to. I own quite a few fragrances and I've spent a lot of time comparing fragrances one with the other to decipher what's going to be the best deal for you. The fragrance house Kenneth Cole has been known to make a stinker or two, so that kind of puts some people off. They don't necessarily like KC, but they do make some really good fragrances as well. You just have to be careful with what you're sampling. In the line of fragrances called Mankind, I have discovered that Mankind Legacy is probably the best among them. There might be one or two that are better for colder weather, but in terms of summer, in terms of high heat, in terms of quick, dumb, easy grabs, Mankind Legacy is among the best. It's a well-balanced combination of citrus and spice, just an extremely well-rounded casual wear fragrance, and you would think you would pay a lot more than $24 for a 100ml bottle in a really nice presentation. 24 bucks. Extremely easy to wear and actually performs decently well. Mankind Legacy by Kenneth Cole. Last of the 10 cheap summer fragrances for men that are gems that are perfectly safe for blind buys is from the house of Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is another one of those designers that has a massive catalog, and it can be very daunting to look at it and be like, what's good in here? I have no clue. Comparing one with the other, I've actually changed my mind a few times as new fragrances come out. And when it comes to Hugo Boss canteen style bottle, it's hard to get better than Hugo Reversed. I stand by Hugo Reversed as probably the best indication of a Hugo Boss signature scent kind of fragrance. I often wear Just Different. I like Journey. I like Hugo Iced, several of the canteen style bottles. But again, Hugo Reversed, finally, when the price dropped, and the price has dropped, you've got bergamot and grapefruit in the open, something called pamplewood, it's an aroma chemicals, very bright, clean, woodsy, little bit of spice and rosemary in the heart, the base of Haitian vetiver and likely some woods. Hugo Reverse is a great casual wear fragrance, but it does have a lightly refined quality that if you had to dress up, you could still get away with wearing it. That's why I think makes it a great signature scent. It is the most expensive in this list. They're coming really close. A few of them are roughly right around this amount, but you can get a 100ml bottle for 36 bucks, so under 40 bucks. Well guys, that's it for my list of 10 fragrances excellent for summer. Thanks for taking the time out to check out today's list. If you've got experience with any of these fragrances or you own any of them, let me know what your thoughts are. What are your favorite aspects of these fragrances? And if you feel like I've missed some, let me know what those are as well in the comments below. Again, thanks so much for checking today's video out, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.